This is a lovely start to a Monday morning. It's snowing pretty good. I don't know what the accumulation totals are right now, but it's still coming down. I don't think we're supposed to get a whole lot. We woke up yesterday morning that snowed as well, but I don't think we're supposed to get a lot of snow, although this might kind of hinder part one of our plans today about going down to Marshfield and cutting timber because the roads are crappy like they are right now. That's the last thing we want to do is drive down there and deal with all the other idiots on the road. It's not a bad drive to Marshfield. It's really not. We can be there in about an hour and 10 minutes probably. But it's just, in which the roads to there, 32 would be the worst. I'm on 32 right now. 32 would probably be the worst because once you get to 32, you just take 13. We'd take 13, then 44. Easy, we go there. Come on, Diesel. Power Strokes wanting to wad the pavement up this morning. Well, it's kind of slick coming up the old hill here. We are spinning. But we've actually got to look at some walnut timber this afternoon. I got a Facebook message yesterday on our Facebook page, and we've got to look at some walnut timber down here around the Ash Grove area, in which I was through Ash Grove Saturday. I had to go down to Bodart and look at some walnut timber. And Bodart, that area down there is an area I really like. I love to work in that area. So some of my early memories, like when I first started kind of cutting logs full-time with Dad and I was still in high school, we were cutting some good jobs down in that area, and it's just an area I like to go back to. I like to go back down there and work. And the timber down around that area is usually pretty good, but it's really hard to buy. It's really hard to buy. So when you go down there, you go down there with guns blazing, you kind of know what you got to give for it before you even look at it. I mean, you know the minimum of what you're going to have to give for it anyway. So, we're going to go down there this afternoon regardless. I got a 4 o'clock appointment there. But I was really hoping we'd get some trees cut today. Try to get a jump on the week. I've still got to move some equipment. Try to get it down to that new job site. Turn through the old town square here. Snow's cool when it's fresh, I guess. It's pretty. But when it comes to logging, I'm just, man, every year I'm like, cold weather, snow, I'm like, I could do without it. I could do without it. The old Diesel getting a little squirrely here. But yeah, I can do without the cold weather and white stuff. It doesn't interest me anymore. Of course, the older you get, you think of everything in work perspective, I guess, and it doesn't help us working. I mean, we've worked in the snow a lot of times, which we don't get a lot of snow here in Southwest Missouri anymore either. But you know, we've worked in the cold and snow plenty. But I don't like doing it. Especially the older I get, the more I want to. Older I get, the more I'm like, man, you know, sunny and 65 sure would be nice. We better get up here at the coffee shop. I'm sure Dad's already here. We'll kind of get a game plan in order, and maybe we'll go cut, maybe we won't. We'll have to wait and see and kind of see what the weather's going to do with the snow as well. Winter wonderland this morning, cutting logs. I've been walking up through here barking trees. Dad's cutting. There's one going right there. Pretty good walnut. Snowy. It is snowy. I love cutting on the rivers. I absolutely love it. This is the James River. James River runs into Table Rock Lake. We're a long ways from where it runs in. Well, I mean, we're up closer towards the headwaters of it, where it all starts. It's not real big up here. Some pretty good walnut. This is the furthest up on the James I've ever cut or looked at timber or anything. We're quite a ways up. But this is a creek crossing right here. It's hard to tell because it snowed in. The road goes on across. But most of the good walnut, see there's good in there. They're just scattered over here in this low bottom. There's pretty good one right there. You can see it standing. They're just scattered up through there in that low bottom now. Dad's up here cutting a big rough tree. Like a tabletop log up there. We've been all down through there this morning cutting too. Now we're going to cut some of the sycamore on the job. These sycamore are huge. Absolutely huge. And there's several of them in this bottom. Of course, there's several on this side of the river too, but there's a couple up here, probably from the flood late last spring. It's washed all this debris in here. Because James River, the last couple of years of these big floods we've had, you know, these two 500-year floods we've had a little over a year apart from each other. Tell me how that all works out. But they've washed in all kinds of debris, and that you can see that big sycamore right there laying down. We'll cut a log out of that. We'll salvage that piece of wood. Sycamore is just pallet material. It's not a real high-dollar wood. It's pretty cheap stuff. But at the same time, when you cut these big trees like that, the volume in there is where you make up for the cheap price, because you can put a lot of volume on the ground fast. And it won't take too many of those big trees to make a load of logs. I was hoping, last time I was here, the creek wasn't running this big. And Dad, he fell a tree and kind of blocked the road for us, so we can't drive my truck over here. But it's not deep, but Dad doesn't want to wade across here. But we planned on moving equipment in today, but like I said, we had snowfall yesterday. Of course, it just stopped snowing down here, and I've actually got to look at some timber this evening around Ash Grove, Missouri. I think I said that earlier in the video this morning. And I think they've had 3 inches up there is what I was seeing just a little bit ago on the weather. Ugh. It's beautiful getting to work on these rivers like this, especially when it's snowy. Fresh snow on the ground. Now, these trees will roll pretty fast. That's what I like about cutting this river bottom timber, because that bottom's fairly open right now. There's no weeds or brush, anything like that. It's pretty open in there. So, of course, there wouldn't be any weeds in the wintertime, obviously, but in the summertime, you can get cutting some of these river bottoms. The weeds will be 7 or 8 feet tall, stingweed, ragweed. It can be a nightmare in the summertime, but in the winter, it's pretty good cut along the rivers. So these big walnut over here, they'll roll out pretty fast. Oh, she's getting ready to go. I hear it popping. Hear it popping. But I enjoy getting to cut timber on the rivers. The quality of wood's really good. And Dad, don't get me wrong, these trees we've cut on the north side, they were good this morning, but I told him, I said, well, all the better stuff's on the south side. Of course, Dad thought that what we cut this morning was pretty good, and they were, but you get over here, they've got some size and height to them. So here we go. You'd known that thing would get hung up as brushy as it is. But yeah, these over here on the south side, they've got some size and some heights to them growing in this low bottom, so they'll be sappy. Everything we've cut's been real sappy. Of course, that's pretty common for walnut growing on the creeks and rivers, but it'll be good quality wood. Hoping we'd see some river otters or something flying around this morning. We've seen a couple big bald eagles flying around, but that's the only wildlife we've seen. Of course, the turkeys, they've just got this road tore up. I mean, it looks like there's been a stampede of turkeys come through this morning. Rounding out the day, going to look at this little tract of timber. I guess it's little. I honestly don't know much about it. I just know I'm going to look at walnut. Details were pretty vague. Got the directions here in my handy dandy map. Oh, don't look at that stuff too much. That's top secret timber tracker info. But the GPS of these trucks for this is like awesome, because sometimes, anymore, a lot of times give you a physical address where you can type into your GPS and it takes you there. But there's still some people that give you actual hard directions, and that's cool too. I mean, for years that's how we got around and found places. So I'm pretty good with hard directions and finding my place, getting around. So, but the good thing is, like, I can look on my nav here, and when I know what road I've got to turn on, I can see it, you know, in the distance. Of course, I can zoom that out or in, whatever I need to do. But it makes things a lot easier. I'm going to go ahead and get this video posted today, right now, because 99% of the time it seems like when I look at timber, I have a landowner that accompanies me, and that's fine. That's totally fine. I don't like to make videos when things like that are going on, because I'm trying to talk and converse with that landowner, kind of get details of what they're wanting to do and what needs to be done on the job. So the last thing they want to do is have me with my phone out making a video. So we'll get this up. It's supposed to be bitterly cold in the morning. They're saying -3 in the morning right now for the low. Wind chill down to -20. Temperature's been dropping all day. We're at 15 right now, and you know, this morning it was probably 28 or 29 in that hard snow, and it's just been dropping all day. So it's going to be a cool day tomorrow cutting logs. I would like to try to get some equipment moved tomorrow evening, but all this stuff needs to get off the road before I'm going to try to move anything. The last thing I want to do is try to move equipment on bad roads. I'm not in that big of a hurry, and I ain't going to take the risk. Ain't worth the gamble, man. Ain't worth tearing something up or getting hurt or hurting somebody else. So let's get this video posted. Guys, thanks for following. Be sure to like us and check us out on all of our social outlets: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. You can find us all at Turner Logging LLC at all of those. Timber Tracker, download the Timber Tracker app. Man, just the feedback we've had on that is amazing. Just every day, it never ceases to amaze me. The feedback, the positive feedback, and even some people, you know, asking if we can do things, just giving us ideas to how better to improve that app. So it's given us a lot of stuff to work with there. And of course, logger threads. If you are on the email list, Shanae should be sending you out an email tonight about the new logger threads design that is about to drop. This is it's a men's shirt. You know, it's called the Fuel. So you should be getting an email this evening about that new logger threads design. I really like this one. I really like this one a lot. So be sure to check that out. If you're not on the email list, well, you'll still know about it, but just not as soon as everybody else will, because the people that are on our kind of like our mail or emailing list, we take care of them first. They get first crack at everything, and they get to see all the new stuff before everybody else does. Perks to that list. So guys, we'll see you tomorrow on the timber. Thanks a lot for hanging out. We're going to go be cold for a little while longer today. Trounce around this snow. Be safe.